and thank you for tuning into News Today, where we break down the day's top stories with precision and clarity. Without delay, take a look at the headlines first. Pakistan government admitted that Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is a foreign territory. RBI to expand unified payment interface to 20 countries by 2028-29. National Human Rights Commission has directed all states to appoint an anti-human trafficking nodal officer. Telangana completes 10 years since its creation through Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014. Women in Leadership in Corporate India report has been released by LinkedIn India. Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations has released a policy brief on post-harvest losses in India. In the very first news, in a significant development, the Pakistan government has admitted before the Islamabad High Court that Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK is a foreign territory that does not fall under Pakistan's jurisdiction. The admission was made by Pakistan's Additional Attorney General during a court hearing. This admission comes on the heels of the former Pakistani Prime Minister's acknowledgement that Pakistan violated the Lahore Pact of 1999, which emphasized composite dialogue to resolve outstanding issues between the two countries. Shortly after signing the pact, Pakistani troops infiltrated the Kargil district, leading to the Kargil conflict of 1999. To grasp on the news better, take a look at the background of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK. Pakistan illegally occupied POK in 1947, which consists of two ethnically and linguistically different regions, the Mirpur-Muzaffarabad region and the Gilgit-Baltistan region. POK is an integral part of the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and remains a major point of contention in the India-Pakistan territorial dispute. In terms of the current status of territorial demarcation, the India-Pakistan border is demarcated by the International Border (IB), stretching approximately 2,400 kilometers from Gujarat to Akhnur in Jammu. Additionally, the line of control or LOC, which is a ceasefire line running from parts of Jammu to parts of Leh, came into existence after the 1948 and 1971 wars between India and Pakistan, and it was delineated in the Shimla Agreement of 1972. Also, the actual ground position line divides Indian and Pakistani troops in the Siachen region and extends from NJ 9842 to Indira Col in north. However, the IB in the Sur Creek area and the international maritime boundary line between the two countries have not been demarcated. In conclusion, Pakistan's acknowledgement of POK as a foreign territory is a notable departure from its previous position. This admission has sparked new discussions on India-Pakistan territorial dispute. In our next news, the Reserve Bank of India has set an ambitious goal to expand the Unified Payment Interface or UPI to 20 countries by 2028-29. In its annual report for 23-24, the RBI, in collaboration with NPCI International Payments Limited, outlined its plan to work on expanding the popular digital payment systems. RBI also aims to explore collaboration on fast payment system with groups of countries such as European Union and SAARC, along with multilateral linkages. Let's begin by learning about the background of UPI. Launched by NPCI in 2016, UPI allows multiple bank accounts to be merged into a single mobile application, enabling seamless fund routing and merchant payments. Currently, several countries including Bhutan, Nepal, UAE, France, and Mauritius already support UPI payment. Acknowledging its significance, the internationalization of UPI has the potential to stimulate trade between India and other countries by facilitating faster and easier cross-border payments. Wider adoption of UPI can also promote interoperability and standardization between payment systems across countries, ensuring smoother integration with financial technologies worldwide. Moreover, this move can strengthen India's influence and goodwill through technological collaboration, fostering digital diplomacy. However, the internationalization of UPI is not without its challenges. Ensuring compliance with diverse regulatory frameworks across multiple jurisdictions can be complex and time-consuming. Additionally, robust security measures, encryption protocols, and data protection mechanisms are needed to maintain user trust. Infrastructure disparities and competition from established players such as China's Alipay also pose significant hurdles. To address these challenges, National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) incorporated NPCI International Payments Limited in 2020 as a wholly owned subsidiary of National Payments Corporation of India for the deployment of RuPay and UPI outside of India. The RBI has also introduced UPI One World, a prepaid payment instrument linked to UPI for foreign nationals and NRIs from G20 countries. Furthermore, under its G20 presidency, India has proposed a global digital public infrastructure (DPI) repository and a social impact fund to advance DPI in the global south. Additionally, UPI is an integral part of the payments layer of digital public infrastructure. In conclusion, the RBI's goal to expand UPI to 20 countries by 2028-29 is a bold move towards the internationalization of India's digital payment system. Despite the challenges, this initiative has the potential to strengthen India's global influence and promote financial inclusion worldwide. In our next news, in a significant move to combat human trafficking, the National Human Rights Commission has directed all states to appoint an anti-human trafficking nodal officer. After ensuring criminal action against those involved in selling minor girls on stamp papers in Rajasthan's Kanjar community. This directive comes as a crucial step towards addressing the pressing issue of human trafficking in India. The AHT nodal officers, who shall not be below the rank of a state secretary or an inspector general of police, are mandated to coordinate with the government and take effective measures through district anti-human trafficking units, led by officers not below Deputy SP, to combat this heinous crime. But what exactly is human trafficking? The United Nations defines it as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, or deception to exploit them for profit. In 2022, India reported a staggering 2,250 human trafficking cases, according to the National Crime Records Bureau. Since police is a state subject, the registration, investigation, and prevention of human trafficking primarily fall under the responsibility of state governments. However, the Indian Constitution, through Article 23, prohibits human trafficking, while Articles 39 Clause E and 39 Clause F emphasize that no one should be forced into unsuitable work due to economic necessity. Several factors contribute to the prevalence of human trafficking in India. Economic factors such as poverty, unemployment, migration, and lack of access to quality education plays a significant role. Political instability, war, and natural calamities can also exacerbate the problem. Furthermore, cultural practices that devalue women and girls in society, such as child marriage, create an environment conducive to trafficking. To address this complex issue, initiatives have been taken at both the global and national levels. In 2000, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Protocol to Prevent, Suppress, and Punish Trafficking in Persons, especially women and children. In India, the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956 serves as a key legislation to combat trafficking. The Ministry of Home Affairs provides funding to all states and UTs under Nirbhaya Fund to set up and strengthen anti-human trafficking units in every district. Additionally, the CREAM system facilitates the dissemination of information about significant crimes, including human trafficking cases, on a real-time basis. The Ministry of Women and Child Development's Mission Shakti also plays a crucial role in rehabilitation efforts. Its Shakti Sadan sub-scheme provides integrated relief and rehabilitation homes for women in distress situations, including those affected by trafficking. By ensuring coordination between the government and law enforcement agencies and by strengthening existing initiatives, we can work towards creating a society free from human trafficking. In our next news, let's look at another significant development. Telangana completes 10 years since its creation through the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014. Telangana was carved out of the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh with Hyderabad as its capital. Telangana's formation was a significant milestone in the history of India's federalism. Interestingly, Andhra Pradesh itself was the first state to be formed based on language in 1953, following the death of Putti Sriramulu, who had fasted unto death for the cause. The demand for a separate Telangana state, however, was motivated by perceived regional inequality in development. The Indian Constitution, under Article 3, provides for the formation of new states and the alteration of areas, boundaries, or names of existing states. Currently, India comprises of 28 states and 8 union territories. a testament to the nation's diversity and evolving nature of its federal structure. Several factors have driven the demand for new states in post-independent India. Among these, language has been a significant factor. This is evident by the recommendations of the State Reorganization Commission led by Justice Fazl Ali in 1953. The SRC recommended forming 14 states and 6 union territories based on factors like financial viability, national welfare, development, language, and culture. These recommendations were implemented through the Constitution 7th Amendment Act of 1956. Other than language, development has also been a critical factor as exemplified by the formation of Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand in 2000 and Telangana in 2014. These states were created to address regional disparities in development and to ensure a more equitable distribution of resources. Other factors such as race, culture, and customs have also played a role in the reorganization of states, particularly in India's northeast region. The process of forming new states is governed by Article 3 of the Constitution. Parliament has the power to create new state through ordinary legislation, that is, with a simple majority. However, the process begins with a recommendation from the President, who must refer the bill to the legislatures of the affected states for their views within a specified time before making the recommendation. As we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Telangana's formation, it's important to acknowledge the aspirations and struggles that led to its creation. The state has made significant strides in various sectors, including IT, agriculture, and infrastructure, and has emerged as a strong contributor to India's economic growth. In our next news, LinkedIn India released Women in Leadership in Corporate India report. The report sheds light on the progress made so far and the outstanding challenges in achieving gender diversity in women's corporate leadership. In this news, let us delve into the key highlights of the report, explore the reasons behind the existing gaps, and discuss the initiatives undertaken by the government and industry to promote women's leadership in the corporate sector. Let's begin by looking at the global scenario. According to World Bank in 2022, in low middle income countries, 19.2% of firms had a female top manager, while in high income countries, this figure stood at 17.3%. Shifting our focus to India, the report reveals some interesting findings. The World Bank data shows that in 2022, only 16% of employed people in senior and middle management positions were female. However, on a positive note, there has been a substantial increase in the proportion of women serving on boards over the past decade, rising from 6% in 2013 to 18% in 2022. So, what are the factors contributing to the underrepresentation of women in corporate leadership positions? The report identifies several key reasons. Firstly, there are gaps in the enforcement of existing regulatory measures. During 2018 to 2023, 507 companies were fined for non-compliance with the Companies Act 2013, which mandates women directors on company boards. Secondly, lower female labor force participation rates, such as 37% in 2022 to 23, poses a challenge. Also, women often drop off the workplace due to familial responsibilities. Moreover, social conditioning plays a crucial role. Women may not apply for leadership due to their environment and cultural gender roles, which can limit their aspirations and opportunities. Lastly, sector-wise discrepancies exist in the representation of women. Factors such as work environment, travel requirements, pay disparity, and the number and nature of work hours that vary across sectors influences women's participation and advancement in different industries. Now, let's explore the initiatives undertaken by the government and industry to promote women's leadership. The government has taken steps like the Companies Act 2013, which mandates the presence of at least one woman director on the governing board of certain classes of companies. Additionally, business reporting requirements on social responsibility seek data on women's representation in the workplace and leadership, encouraging companies to prioritize gender diversity. On the industry front, the Standing Conference of Public Enterprises, or SCOPE, has pledged to make concerted efforts to address the gap, focusing on ensuring gender diversity in leadership positions in public sector enterprises. Private sector corporations like Accenture and Cognizant have also undertaken similar initiatives to foster women's leadership development. In conclusion, the Women in Leadership in Corporate India report provides valuable insights into the progress made and the challenges that persist in achieving gender diversity in corporate leadership positions. In our next news, the Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations has released a policy brief that sheds light on the pressing issue of post-harvest losses in India. The brief highlights the potential for a triple win by reducing PHL, which would benefit farmers through enhanced income, enhanced food security, and ensure sustainability by minimizing resource exploitation in agri-food systems. If we look at its key highlights, then India has made significant strides in agriculture production over the years. Food grain production has increased from 74.23 million metric tons in 1966 to 67 to an impressive 330.5 MMT in 2020-23. Similarly, horticulture production has grown from 96.6 MMT in 1991-92 to 355.25 MMT in 2020-23. To accommodate this increased production, India's storage capacity has also expanded from 108.8 MMT in 2010 to 219.4 MMT in 2021. Despite these achievements, the issue of post-harvest losses remains a significant challenge. Globally, around 30% of the food produced never reaches consumer, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization in 2021. India, in particular, faces higher PHL in cereals, pulses, and oilseeds compared to global levels. From 2020 to 2022, the country suffered an annual loss of $18.5 billion due to PHL, despite some reduction in losses from 2012 to 2022. Several factors contribute to post-harvest losses in India. On-farm operations such as low farmer education and skill levels, adverse weather conditions, and the use of defective machinery play a significant role. Marketing channels also contribute to losses through en route leakages from open lorry transport, poor quality packaging, the use of iron hooks, and improper storage practices. Policy issues such as Jute Packing Material Act 1987, which mandates the use of jute bags that are susceptible to pests, insects, and contamination, further exacerbate the problem. To address these challenges, the policy brief suggests several measures. Mechanization in agriculture, reforming the public distribution system, and boosting direct cash transfers are among the key recommendations. The government has also initiated various schemes to reduce post-harvest losses, such as Private Entrepreneurs Guarantee Scheme, which aims to augment food storage capacity through private participation, and the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana, which focuses on reducing PHL of horticulture and non-horticulture produce by creating modern infrastructure for food processing closer to production areas. The Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, launched to mobilize medium to long-term debt financing for investment in viable projects for post-harvest management infrastructure and community farming assets, is another notable initiative. Recently, in 2023, the National Cooperative Grain Storage Project was launched to expand cooperative sector storage facilities by 700 lakh tons. As India continues to make strides in agricultural production, it is crucial that we focus on minimizing post-harvest losses to have multiplier effect on interrelated aspects like food security, economy, and sustainable agri-food systems practices. The place in news for today is Iraq with its capital Baghdad. It is in news as the UNSC has voted to end the United Nations Assistance Mission in Iraq. It was established in 2003 following the United States-led invasion. The mission was established to coordinate post-conflict humanitarian and reconstruction efforts and to help restore a representative government in the country. If we talk about its political features, it shares its territorial borders with Turkey to its north, Iran to its east, Syria and Jordan to its west, and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait to its south. Also, Iraq opens into Persian Gulf. Talking about its geographical features, its major mountains include the Sinjar Mountains, Zagros Mountains at northern Iraq bordering Iran, Moreover, its rivers are Tigris and Euphrates. And lastly, it also includes lakes which are Habania, Razaza or Lake Mil, which is a man-made lake and is at the risk of drying up. As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. Chang'e 6 landing marks China's second descent on the far side of the moon. It refers to the hemisphere of the moon that always faces away from the Earth. India's Chandrayaan-3 mission landed on the south pole of the near side of the moon. ICRIER published a topical backgrounder titled Multilateral Peace Operations in 2023, Developments and Trends on important developments related to multilateral peace operations during 2023. India was the highest contributor of military personnel for UN peacekeeping forces in 2023. In financial year 24, RBI moved 100 metric tons of gold from the UK to domestic vaults at Mumbai and Nagpur. India's total gold holdings in financial year 24 reached 822 metric tons, of which around 50% is stored locally. News research shows that a species of folk fern has largest genome. Found only in New Caledonia and a few nearby islands in the Pacific Ocean, and thrives on the trunks and branches of trees in rainforests. FSSAI and Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority have jointly developed Unified India Organic logo to replace the India Organic and Jaivik Bharat logos. Unified India Organic logo aimed to bring uniformity and convergence in implementation of Indian regulations on organic products. A recent study has proposed a sustainable approach of microbial methane oxidation system, also called as biocover, to control fugitive methane emissions from old dump sites. Biocovers are porous material layer laid directly on top of a landfill, which is then covered by an oxidizing layer of mature compost. Some experts have highlighted that agricultural biodiversity plays a crucial role in conservation of Sarus crane. It is the tallest flying bird in the world. Agrobiodiversity refers to variety and variability of living organisms that are associated with cultivating crops and rearing animals within ecological complexes. A study found that agriculture and urbanization are accelerating the decomposition of plant litter in rivers and streams. Plant litter are primarily cellulose. Cellulose is a polymeric polysaccharide made of glucose and is the primary structural component of plant cell walls. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. We appreciate your company. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.